Yes, it's time to go bowling. Hello and welcome to our ASM pregame report for the inaugural Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl game alongside our analyst Doug Bell and our legendary college football Hall of Fame coach Jim Donnan. I'm Jorge Andres. Now, Doug, a rare scenario in this contest has two teams from the same conference face each other in a bowl game.
Yeah, first non-playoff bowl matchup between two teams from the same conference, the Mountain West. Since 1979, when Oklahoma met Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, they met in the regular season that year. Oklahoma got revenge in the bowl game. Difference here is they did not meet Nevada and Colorado State during the regular season.
All right, now, Coach Donnan, you coached Mike Bobo out of Georgia, Coach Bobo, now the coach of Colorado State. What was he like as a player and now as a coach? Give us the answer.
Well, his dad's a high school coach, and he grew up to be a coach, and so proud of Mike and what he's been able to do, taking this Colorado State Ram program into a bowl in his first year. And he got a lot of help from the old coach. You can see right there. He's telling me what to do right on the sideline back in the old days. And nothing like a great win over Georgia Tech to end his career.
Now, Coach, I want to get this real quick. The D coordinator for Coach Bobo's team, Tyson Summer, last week accepted the Georgia Southern job. You have some information on what Coach Bobo is looking to do for tonight's game.
Well, anytime you lose a coach like that right the week before a game, you got to make a decision. He's going to go with Marty English, a veteran coach who's been with the Rams for a long time. Give him the shot at calling the plays tonight, and I think he'll do a good job directing that attack.
All right, well, you have a phenomenal bowl record, Coach. You're 4-0 in bowls as well. How do you prepare your players for this big stage of a bowl game?
Well, I couldn't do jumping jacks like that Coach Napoleon did. I wasn't that efficient. But I promise you this, the reason you go to a bowl, it's a reward for the seniors. It's a good chance for you to see what your younger players can do as far as the extra practices. And bottom line, just have a good time and interact with the community. We're going to see some good stuff that these kids did on our halftime show. But this is a great chance for both teams to really kind of get going for next year and maybe catapult with a win tonight.
Now, Doug, speaking of victories, what are going to be the keys of victories for Nevada?
Well, James Butler, Don Jackson each gained over 1,000 yards this season. Only two schools in the country did that. But Don Jackson is suspended for the first quarter. He's the workhorse running back, so we will not see him till the second quarter perhaps. He's suspended at least for a quarter for breaking team rules. So James Butler averaged over 6 yards a carry. He's going to have to do it, and we'll see what happens.
Quickly, Coach, what about for the Rams? What do they need to do?
Well, they got a tremendous quarterback, 21 touchdown passes. And one thing about it, he's throwing to one of the best receivers in the country in Higgins, and he's going to be a real big target for him tonight.
I'm very excited about this game. All of us here at ASN are the Rams of Colorado State set to take on the Wolfpack of Nevada. For Coach Donnan, Doug Bell, I'm Jorge Andres. Let's send it out now to Ron Thulin, Doug Chapman to get us set for kickoff of the inaugural Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. We'll see you back here at the studio at the half. Take it away, fellas.
Welcome to Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona for the inaugural Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl presented by CampusInsiders.com. Two members of the Mountain West Conference will kick things off in year number one, and it'll be the Wolfpack of Nevada taking on the Rams of Colorado State. Hello again, everybody, along with former NFL running back Doug Chapman. I'm Ron Thulin. Now, these teams play in the Mountain West Conference. They did not play each other during the regular season, but they do have 6 common opponents. That helps with the prep work.
And there's a lot of familiarity between these two programs. The schools, you said it, didn't play each other during the regular season, but these guys know each other pretty well. They've got history. They've played against these kids. Mike Bobo's staff at Colorado State may not have ever coached against this team, but they've seen film. You watch 6 games on your opponent, you're pretty familiar with what's going on.
Well, you look at these two teams. There are a lot of similarities between the two when you look at the numbers. Both rely on the run game a lot. Both of them are pretty balanced when it comes to offense as far as yardage is concerned. And when it comes to points a game, allowed, both average giving up about 27 points a game. What's the turning point here?
Yeah, teams are very, very similar. Also tied for 6th in the Mountain West Conference in total defense. They run the ball to set up the pass. They can move the ball, very balanced offensively, and on defense they get pressure on you off the edge, have premier edge rushers for both teams, and on the back end and the secondary, the safeties and corners can run, cover, and hit. This should be a very close ball game. Whoever doesn't turn the ball over wins this.
Well, the head coach for Nevada, Brian Polian, in his 3rd year, he stresses a lot that it's not about him. He really cares about his players. He's worked with some of the greats in his career, Jim Harbaugh at Stanford, Kevin Sumlin at A&M, Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame, George O'Leary at Central Florida. And he was a 22-year-old grad student under Nick Saban and the head coach of Mike Bobo in his first year. He played at the University of Georgia. He's going after his 8th win, and no Colorado State coach has ever won 8 games in year number 1, and that, of course, dates back to 1893. He showed a lot of change and growth this year with this team. He said one of the things about this squad, they're trusting each other, and they've built great relationships. And Colorado State will get the ball first. Colorado State is designated as the home team, but they are wearing their white because they're 4-0. A little superstitious there.
How you feel about superstition, Ron?
Let me knock on wood and I'll tell you. And the Colorado State offense will come out first. Last 4 games, they've really stressed the run game. 70% running. In the first 3 games, only 53% run.
But that's how you break in a young quarterback. Nick Stevens filling in for Grayson, who's now in the NFL. Fantastic quarterback here for Colorado State. Stevens has had his ups and downs, but running the ball helps a young quarterback get comfortable.
And because they've been running the ball a lot, he's completed 65% of his passes. This pass, he is hit as soon as he lets it go, and it is incomplete. Now, the opening drive for Colorado State has been good the last 4 games in this 4-game win streak. They've scored on their first possession. This is a team that likes to get out front early. Their best scoring quarter is the first.
And very rare they come out on first down throwing the ball, a little bootleg action. He hits his own lineman. Looked like that was number 77, Jake Bennett, who was hit with the ball. Lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
This time Stevens goes over center, fakes it. They want to complete the easy passes, and he's 0 for 2 to start things out.
Ian Seau comes off the edge. Talked about those edge rushers, very aggressive. Seau, someone you have to keep an eye on. Find number 8 pre-snap. If he doesn't get to the quarterback, he gets up, gets his hands up. Another tip ball. 2 passes they open up with on offense. 2 balls incomplete and tipped in the air. Let's not get an interception if you're Colorado State.
One thing Colorado State, Doug, did not want to get into, and that is 3rd and long, because they've turned into a running team. Now they're going to have to throw the ball, and Vaden goes wide to the top of your screen. Stevens straight drop, has some time, rifles it over the middle, pass caught, first down to Hansley. Over the 40-yard line, up to the 43-yard line, 5'10", 180-pound senior.
And we talked to offensive coordinator Will Brandon. He said how impressed he's been with this offensive line. The protection, left tackle Nick Callender picks up Seau, allows Stevens time to sit in the pocket and find Hansley. Now, that's what they've got to do. They've got to be able to protect the quarterback, keep bodies off of him, keep hands out of his face, get him comfortable in the pocket. If so, he could have a big night.
I'll tell you, we're going to talk a lot about Hansley in this game. He is one of the most underrated receivers in the conference. They go to the run game. Dawkins has some room, crosses midfield, will be close to the first down to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play.
And that's a beautiful inside zone run. When I was with the Minnesota Vikings, we called that the gut play. 1 step open, turn around, downhill, north and south. And look at the penetration of the offensive linemen at the second level. Great job by Colorado State.
And you see Dawkins bouncing off a couple of tackles. That'll be good enough for the first down. Gets down to the 48-yard line. Dawkins rushing for just over 800 yards this season. He's more of an outside runner, but we've seen him bang on the inside twice.
And Dawkins, Odens, Matthews, names you will hear called. They have a stable of backs. They don't have 1,000-yard rushers like the Wolfpack does, but they have guys that can get it done.
Right.
They mix it up. Max can catch the ball well out of the backfield, keeps fresh legs back there.
So it is 1st and 10 now for Colorado State. Stevens goes to the line of scrimmage with 2 run plays, always ready to call. Back to Dawkins. Stevens keeps it, throws, pass incomplete, intended for Hansley.
Now I'm gonna tell you, see that guy right there? You got to send it. You might start sending it back to number 8 side, because Seau has been getting in the backfield every time. He hasn't gotten to the quarterback yet. He's tipped the ball. He gets to Stevens there, knocks him down after the pass. But they've got to find a way to contain him. If he starts to get into a comfort zone of getting in the backfield, it could be a long night.
I tell you, look at Seau. He led the Mountain West in sacks, had a breakout year last year, increased his numbers this season. 2nd down and 10 now for the Rams at the 48-yard line. Dawkins bangs his way down to the 45. Short pickup of about 2 on the play. Dawkins has been nursing a hamstring. They weren't sure if he's going to be able to go 100%. His helmet comes off, so he's going to have to come out. And Jason Oden will come in, the senior out of Buffalo, New York. He rushed for just under 700 yards this year.
And, Ron, you talk about Dawkins. They said there's a guy that been telling him in practice sometimes, calm down, big fella. They said he practices at 110%. Hard to slow him down. He goes so hard. Has a hamstring, but you wouldn't know it by the way he's been running the ball this evening.
Izzy Matthews has checked in now at running back. The freshman out of Redding, California. He's seen a lot of playing time since this win streak started. Stevens hit as he throws. Picked off. Down to the 42-yard line. Stevens took a hit immediately, and it ended up in the hands of Rakeem Yates.
And once again, Sayal off the edge. He's blocked. He got left tackle. Callender right there. Nice. Doesn't get back into his kick step very well. And that's all it takes. Sayal runs the hump, is able to get to the quarterback. This is technique. Look at the strip. Goes right for the quarterback's passing on. If that last name sounds familiar, yes, he is the nephew of Junior Sayal. Yeah. Great bloodline there and great play by Ian Sayal.
You know, we talked to Sam Carlson, the right tackle of Colorado State yesterday. I said, you know, you got beat by Sayal last year. And he goes, he's fast. We've seen it tonight. Now the first look of Nevada's offense. Tyler Stewart, the quarterback. Low snap. Throws it out of the flat. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. It'll be right to the line of scrimmage. That'll be to Jericho Richardson. Now, Don Jackson, one of the 2,000-yard rushers. He is not going to play in the first quarter. He has been suspended because of violation of team rules. He will play in the second, but he's got a 1,000-yard rusher behind him.
Yeah, he's got a James Butler. They talked about when he got here as a freshman, was a bit limited, had a staph infection in his foot. They weren't sure what he could do, but once the boot came off, he's been running ever since, earned playing time, and him and Jackson make up one of the most formidable backfields, and not just the Mountain West Conference, but in college football.
I'll tell you, Butler and Jackson have a very unique relationship also. There's Butler, left side. Got the first down inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Let's check in with one of our sideline reporters here, Shea Pepler.
Hey, guys. Yeah, you talked about that unique relationship between Don Jackson, the senior, and James Butler, the sophomore. The two of them together are inseparable, coaches tell us. Coaches tell they room together on the road, and they basically don't leave each other's side. When it comes to the football field, they sub in for each other. It's as simple as making eye contact. One goes in for one series, one goes in for the next series. So a really unique relationship. We'll see Don Jackson here in the second quarter, guys.
I don't think I've ever heard, Shea, that they said the running backs pretty much sub themselves. When the coaches were telling us yesterday.
It's sometimes you know your teammates so well you can read his body language. He looks over at you know when he's ready to come out.
This time Stewart keeps it, cuts up field inside the 20, knocked out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Stewart only rushed 91 times this year, averaged just over 3 yards a carry, but coaches talk about how nimble he is.
They said Stewart's not as straight line fast as Cody Fajardo, the great quarterback that was here for so many years, was, but he's very nimble, quick feet, and makes the right read, knows when to pitch it, knows when to keep it. If you follow football here for the Wolfpack over the past 2 years, you know Fajardo, 1,000-yard rusher his last season. Stevens not that type of quarterback, but can move.
And he has a fresh set of downs at about the 18-yard line here in the opening quarter. Fakes it to Butler. Incomplete. And he takes a seat as soon as he lets the ball go.
Like number 9, Foster, was able to get some penetration. That's the best type. If you're a D-line coach, you love edge rushers, Ron, but you love when your interior guys can get in the quarterback's lap. They cause the most problems. They may not get there and get to the quarterback, but you name one quarterback, you won't find him that's comfortable with a man rushing right in his lap. You won't find him. He makes it for a long night for you.
Well, one of the keys for Nevada coming into this ballgame, they said they need to throw the ball and distribute the ball to their wide receivers because Colorado State will probably have 8 in the box. Here's Stewart, pressure's on, steps up, gets away from the first wave, heads to the sideline, inside the 10, out of the 8. 2 outstanding scrambles for Stewart in this quarter.
Now, I'm not sure if Brian Polian, head coach, was pulling our legs saying Stewart isn't the fastest, because he looked pretty quick right there, saying we don't want him running around, but he can when he has to. Pulls it down, play action. They run that pistol. He fakes it to Butler. Sees nothing, but he's rushed through his progression. You want to put that ball away, he does. Heads towards the sideline, does not take a big shot, but is able to make something out of nothing and picks up a first down. I'm sorry, it's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, just less than about a yard. This is a very young offense. The Nevada offense tied with Pitt and Wake Forest for the fewest seniors on offense. Butler got the first down inside the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, there's the first down. And down here in the red zone, you're going to see a lot of Butler in second quarter, and into the game, you'll see a lot of Davis, Jackson as well. Those two tough inside runners. You look at the numbers on these two backs, they get stronger as the game goes on. Looking at Butler right there. Very well put together young man, weight room warrior, very strong, short, compact body, tough inside runner.
And Nevada number 2 in the Mountain West Conference in the red zone, 90%, 65% touchdowns. Butler bangs his way down to about the 1-yard line. They'll mark it at the 2, shoved back, but it will be at the 2-yard line.
That's an excellent job by Colorado State's defensive front. Nevada comes out with a bunch formation to the right. They stack it up. Butler cuts it back over to where the power play is going. And watch the white shirts just sift through the offensive lineman, find the ball carrier, and bring him down for the top.
On 2nd and goal. Butler looking for some blocks, has to hesitate. Stacked at the 5, and he's going to lose a couple. Good penetration by that Colorado State defense led by Steve O'Michael.
And they've got Jared Gibson, 47, lined up in a wing position. It's kind of a giveaway where they want the ball to go. You've got the bodies there, but excellent job by Colorado State just not staying blocked. Defensive linemen keeping their hands and feet active, keeping the offensive linemen off of them, giving Butler nowhere to go. An excellent job by the backside, taking away the cutback.
3rd and goal now from the 5. Butler bangs his way down to the 2-yard line, bringing up a 4th down and goal situation. Butler rushing for over 1,000 yards this season, 1153, over 6 yards a carry. Coach Polian says, I just am so honored to have 2 guys like that because it changes everything when you have 2,000-yard rushers.
It absolutely does. I was part of that my freshman year at Marshall. Myself and Eric Thomas, the senior. I was a freshman. We both had 1,000 yards, and I know how much it helped that offense, kept them off balance. It kind of helped we had a guy named Randy Moss playing wide receiver, too. That opened things up. But I tell you, it's not common to see 2,000-yard rushers at the FBS level.
Fred Zuzo with the 20-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. He is now 15 for 15 inside the 50-yard line. Nevada the first to strike here at the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl in Tucson.
Trying to find the perfect gift for that special person in your life? Massage Green Spa offers massage, facials, infrared therapy, and makes wellness affordable. And now, for a limited time, Massage Green is currently offering a holiday 2 times a luxury special. When you buy a 1-hour full-body massage gift card, you'll receive a 40-minute infrared therapy gift card for free. That's 100 minutes of wellness for $49.95. So give the gift of relaxation this holiday season.
The Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl is presented by CampusInsiders.com. And it's a clear, crisp night in Tucson, Arizona. Look at downtown Tucson, kind of undergoing a renaissance here in Tucson. A beautiful city. The people here have really grasped this bowl game. Of course, you go back to the Copper Bowl, the Insight.com Bowl, and a couple of years ago, some of the leaders here in Tucson said, we got to get a bowl game back, and then we got the Nova Home Loans Bowl, which is good. It's good for the city because this is a city that needs a bowl game.
And the city's done an excellent job welcoming us here, Ron. We've had the red carpet laid out. I got in Sunday. It's been great ever since. This is a fantastic stadium. We're playing in the University of Arizona Stadium. I'm very, very, very pleased.
Vaden and Nutt set to return the kick. And Nutt's going to take it about 5 yards deep. We're going interactive with the Arizona Bowl today, where you can answer questions and participate in the broadcast. Certain times during the telecast, we're going to ask you to pick up your phone, tablet, or computer and head to AmericanSportsNet.com/play, and you can become interactive. I have no idea what that means, but I'm not a tech guy, okay?
How about you pull out your phone? Let's get interactive up here in the booth here, Ron.
Hey, I don't have a flip phone, though. That's the one thing. I think I'm very proud of myself for not having that. Dalen Dawkins back into running back. They'll fake to him, throw it over the middle. First down, up over the 35-yard line. Rashad Higgins, his first catch of the ball game. He is their big gun, has made 66 receptions this season, had 96 last year, but his role has changed this year.
And I like the confidence of Stevens. Nice play fake, put the ball on the receiver. If Higgins gets warmed up, he can be a nightmare for secondaries.
Well, so much for running the ball 70% of the time, right? This time, great job by the Nevada defense. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss. Dawkins stacked up. No place to go. Let's go back to Higgins, because here's a young man that was an All-American last season. He had a bunch of different records, had 17 touchdowns, which led the FBS last year. They call him Hollywood. That was his nickname since Pee Wee football, but he seems to have adapted to the role in Coach Bobo's new offense.
Yeah, young man led the nation in receiving last year. Had more yards than guys named Amari Cooper and Kevin White, who ended up being first-round draft picks in the NFL. He's pretty good.
Dawkins straight up the middle. He'll get the first down over the 50, down to the 48-yard line. Let's check in with Mata McNutt on the sideline.
Hey, Ron. Well, you guys mentioned Rashad Higgins, and he already owns a couple records for Colorado State in receptions, but he's 115 yards shy of gaining the record for receiving yards. Now, earlier this week, he told reporters that his mom was unlikely to come due to family circumstances. But guess what, guys? Jeanette Jackson, his mom, is in the stands to surprise her son. She and his cousin made the 14-hour drive from Texas, and the cousin, that's the guy who named him Hollywood.
There you go. He also has his hair is kind of got this light blonde curls on top.
Well, that's, like that's the Odell Beckham Jr. effect.
Yeah, well, they call it popcorn, and that was one of the little promos they had to kind of talk about his pop. There's his mom sitting in the stands. They said Hollywood performances best enjoyed with popcorn.
I like that.
Yeah, they kind of had a little promo gig for him. Now Higgins goes to the far side. Second down after the loss of about a yard. Pitch back, Dawkins gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe picking up a half a yard more before Lenny Jones makes the stop. Here's some more on Hollywood Higgins, first team All Mountain West Conference, and a couple of the records he owns. The junior out of Dallas, Texas. He led the Mountain West Conference in touchdown receptions. And, of course, he holds the Colorado State all-time record in receptions.
And if you look at his numbers, they say they're down this year's receiving yards. Yeah. He's second in the Mountain West Conference in receiving, but you got a new head coach. You have a new offensive coordinator, and more importantly, you have a new quarterback. That's what's going to happen. You have to it takes time for rhythm, and if you're having a bad year and you've got 900 yards receiving, I'll take that from receiver in a year.
Absolutely. Penalty flag is thrown. We've got motion, illegal formation against
number 25. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And that is against Joe Hansley. Don't see that very often from the senior. There's a good look at Mike Bobo, the head coach of Colorado State. They have a sign over their practice field that says never satisfied. And that's kind of been the way he has been ever since he worked his way into the starting lineup at Georgia, set a bunch of records as a quarterback for the Bulldogs. Of course, came here after being offensive coordinator for Georgia. Fake it to Dawkins. Stevens going near side, a little bit too long.
And he had something there.
Right, Higgins had a step on the defender.
And people always say, I don't think Higgins is the fastest.
Right.
But every time I watch him run routes, he gets separation. And there you had separation. Stevens just missed that down the rail. And that's what we talked about. It takes time. Higgins was a guy that had some injury problems in the spring, has had some injury problems this season. And timing comes with playing with a quarterback. If you're off the field, you're not going to get that. But still, keep an eye on Higgins to Stevens to Higgins this entire evening.
Andrew Sellis will be back to receive the punt back at the 10-yard line. Aiden Hunt kicking it away for Colorado State, one of the best in college football, end over end. Not a whole lot of running room. Up over the 25 to the 26-yard line. We have just over 4 minutes left in the opening quarter of the inaugural Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. Wolfpack lead it by a field goal. 3-0 is their score. We're still about midway through the opening quarter. Wolfpack lead at 3-0. Once again, we want you to go to AmericanSportsNet.com/play. and answer one of our questions that we're going to be posing throughout the evening. And who's going to have the most carries tonight for the Nevada Wolfpack? Will it be that man right there, Don Jackson? Of course, he's suspended for the first quarter. Will play in the second. Or will it be that man, James Butler, the sophomore out of Bloomingdale, Illinois?
Don Jackson keeping those legs warm. Because then about 4 minutes and change, he'll be re-eligible. That's
exactly
dangerous
right
for Colorado State.
Butler's done a good job so far here in the opening quarter, though, running the football. This time Stewart will put it up. Going down the far sideline, incomplete, well overthrown.
And I like how both offenses are taking shots. They're not playing conservative, trying to hand the ball off and do a little play action to the tight ends and easy slants. I like the passes down the rail. They're going deep, trying to get some explosives. But the offensive line, quick three-step drop. You see the offensive lineman cut. But they're still getting bodies. You got to keep these quarterbacks clean. You're seeing too many bodies around these quarterbacks. Once again, Foster gets back there.
On 2nd down and 10. Colorado State was 7 in the box. Stewart rolls, looks, trying to buy some time. Pass caught up over the 40-yard line to the 42-yard line. Jericho Richardson on the reception. Let's check in with Shay on the sideline.
Hey guys, I'm told Don Jackson was suspended for a violation of team rules that occurred before the team traveled out here to Tucson. Jackson, although we just found out he's suspended for the first quarter of this football game, he knew prior to the trip out here.
Well, you know, he's such an outstanding young man, and please don't judge him the fact he's not playing in the first quarter, because he was at the hospital with some of the other teammates and visiting a children's hospital on Sunday, and he came out with tears in his eye. This young man was very touched, and he's done so much in his career, which we'll talk about throughout the evening. Here's Butler again, breaking up over the 50. That'll be good enough for a first down. Well, for enhanced viewing and interactive experience, watch the live stream right now on CampusInsiders.com. And a fresh set of downs.
Look at the numbers there on Butler. That's 5 yards a pop.
Yeah. Once again, he came in averaging just over 6 yards a carry. 1st and 10 again, Nevada in Colorado State territory. Butler tripping his way down to the 40-yard line. That'll be good for a pickup of 6.
And you know what, Ron? That's a special run. 6-yard run. People may not say that's not a huge run, not a touchdown run. But Colorado State is committing an extra defender to the box. They're bringing the safety down into the box. And Butler's able to get into traffic, make the player miss, and still pick up extra yardage, yards after contact. Those are the special backs. A lot of backs get tackled there on the spot, get tackled for a 2-yard gain. Can't make the extra box defender miss.
Yeah.
Butler's a special running back. He can do that.
Colorado State again stacking the box, and Stewart's going to drop straight back. Looks, far sideline. Incomplete. Penalty flag comes in. They're going to call that on Tyree Simmons, the junior out of Gardena, California.
He never looked back.
Never looked back.
Pass interference, defense, number 5, automatic first down.
And it's so easy for us to sit here and say he never looked back. Actually, he looks back for a split second, but he's got too much hands inside the body on the receiver. Bad positioning by Simmons. He actually gets beat. The ball is underthrown, but just too much hand contact. I know Coach Bobo hates to see that, but you got to also, while you're looking back for the ball, you can't have that much contact with the wide receiver downfield.
I think also Simmons is 5'11", and Hassan Henderson, he is 6'5". A little concerned about trying to go one-on-one with him, but Coach Bobo telling us they've got to win those one-on-one matchups. And it'll get him a fresh set of downs at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Butler will try it again. Maybe a yard. You know, you look at this Nevada football team and you look at their history, and you have to say running the football is Nevada football.
It has been. It's just the pistol offense was created here at Nevada, and they buy in. They're a physical, smash mouth, downhill. We're going to punch you in the mouth, and we're going to keep punching you until you submit type of football team. And when you have backs like Jackson and Butler that can get north and south, get inside, get the tough yards, and have the ability to break the long ones, that's when you're very, very dangerous. But the philosophy's been set here for years.
Second down and 9. Butler again. Gets down to about the 22-yard line. And I love Coach Polian when he was talking to the media the other day, and somebody said about the personality of the team. He said, they're a reflection of their fun-loving head coach, which I thought was good. But he was more impressed that he used a Journey song, and a lot of the players actually knew the group Journey. A little young to know the group Journey.
They were lying, Ron.
I think they were lying, too.
Those guys didn't know who Journey was. I barely know who Journey is.
Oh, come on, please.
I mess with you. I know who Journey is.
Well, Nevada facing third down. They're 1 of 3 on third down so far tonight. They need 7. Gibson kind of moves to the H-back spot. A little delayed draw. Butler trips down inside the 10-yard line. We've got a penalty flag, though, back at the 25.
Holding offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, third down.
That's Jeremy McCauley making his 23rd start.
And that's unfortunate. Like number 72, Kevin O'Brien negates a huge draw play out of the shotgun. They usually go to Chris Alt's old school pistol, who started the pistol here. Excellent run by Butler. Once again, getting a secondary, making people miss, picking up extra yardage, but backed up by a holding penalty.
That pushes the ball all the way back to the 32-yard line. So it's third and a bunch. We'll call it about 17.
I see Don Jackson down there warm up. Got about 10 seconds left, Mr. Jackson.
I think he's ready to go in.
Ready to roll.
We've got a player down. Nick Januska has taken a seat at the 20-yard line. We'll try to get an update on him. More from the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl after this. Wolfpack with a 20-yard field goal, the only scoring so far here in the opening quarter. Tucson is the place to be in February to enjoy Major League Soccer preseason matches. Visit www.mispreseason.com. That's MLSpreseason.com for more information. And of course, the Nevada band has made the trip down from Reno. Put together a heck of a pregame show, by the way. Had everybody kind of up on their feet down here.
You were doing a little dancing earlier, Ron.
I was ready to go.
I saw you.
Third down and that was ugly. Third down and 17. And another timeout's going to be called. That's going to be the end of the quarter. And with that, we'll step aside. Second quarter straight ahead. Nevada leading the Rams of Colorado State 3-0.